Coming up, an AT20 Extra by Sugar Ray, a band who say they may have been involved in the lamest promotional contest ever. Only 3 people entered.
American Top 20. Casey counts them down. Casey's Top 40.
On Casey's Top 40, I'm David Perry, sitting in for Casey Kasem. Now we're up to this week's only debut. It's by Sugar Ray, a band who spent the summer on a tour dedicated to all things weird and wonderful. It was called the Warped Tour, and it was founded 2 years ago by Kevin Lyman, one of the people behind the original Lollapalooza festivals. The idea for the Warped Tour, which wrapped up on August 5th in Atlanta, was to create an atmosphere where almost anything goes. For one thing, it wasn't all about music. The tour ended each night with the Sick and Twisted Festival of Animation, showcasing some of the strangest cartoons around. It also featured bands whose music reflected the warped world spirit of making people smile and get up and dance. They included punk and ska-flavored acts like the Mighty Mighty Boss Tones, Social Distortion, Real Big Fish, and a 5-man band from Los Angeles called Sugar Ray. Sugar Ray's lead singer Mark McGrath said one of the most unusual things about the tour was the way the daily lineup was selected. Each morning, organizers would pull names from a hat at random, and that determined what order each band would play. He says, quote, "One day, the Mighty Mighty Boss Tones, who were the biggest band on the tour, went on at 12:30 in the afternoon. Seeing them be real huge professionals about the whole situation was pretty endearing," unquote. Well, the Warped Tour may be over, but a couple of Warped acts are still alive and active here on the charts. Later, we'll hear the Mighty Mighty Boss Tones with The Impression That I Get. And now, rolling in at number 32 on Casey's Top 40, here's this week's only debut. It's a song that's currently at number 1 on the alternative rock chart. Sugar Ray with Fly.
Spread your love and fly, fly. Casey's Top 40.
I'm David Perry for Casey Kasem. Casey's Top 40 originates in Hollywood.
And that means we're up to the number 1 song in the USA on American Top 40, a smash by a band whose members tried many careers before music clicked for them, including one band member who made one heck of a good pizza.
Like a lot of groups, the members of this Southern California quartet tried to have something to fall back on should music not work for them. But as they found, none of them were very good at anything else.
Lead singer Mark McGrath worked as a truck driver. Not a great truck driver, but one good enough to get a truck from here to there. But as he found out, driving a truck is hard work, especially when your heart isn't in it.
Guitar player Rodney Shepherd worked as a telemarketer, trying to sell things to people by phone. But once again, it was nothing he was especially good at.
He had trouble taking it seriously. Drummer Stan Frazier had the most white-collar of the jobs. He was a paralegal. But since he preferred pounding his drum to pushing paperwork, it wasn't his favorite thing either. The only band member who really loved his non-musical work was bass player Murphy Cargis. Murphy was a pizza chef, and a good one. And when his band is on the road, if the pizza made at some Italian restaurant they've gone to isn't up to his standards,
he'll barge into the kitchen and show the cooks how to do it his way. He's also doing it his way on his band's latest album, a million-selling album called Floored, that has now delivered this week's biggest hit.
Well, the days of working 2 jobs are over for this California beach band. Their night job has become their day job, and a pretty lucrative one at that, thanks to the song that once again is the biggest hit in the land. The number 1 song in the USA on American Top 40 for the 6th consecutive week is
Fly
Every Morning
by Sugar Ray.
Sugar Ray.
I'm Ed McMahon, sitting in this week for Casey Kasem. Now we're up to the song Someday by a band who say today is the day to roll back overly harsh legal penalties. And they recently performed in New York to get their message out. It was a concert at New York's famous Roseland Ballroom on October 26th, a concert called Rock for Justice. The headliners were Sugar Ray and Edwin McCain, a very hot lineup, but they weren't there to promote their music. They were there to say the courts are going too far. You see, the Rock for Justice show was a benefit for an organization called Families Against Mandatory Minimums. What they're objecting to is the new world of mandatory sentencing laws that can send a young person to jail for many years for a first-time offense. One of the founders of the organization is Jason Flom, president of Lava Records, the company that Sugar Ray and Edwin McCain record for. And he says, quote, "Our elected leaders, in their zeal to appear tough on crime, have passed laws that send thousands of nonviolent offenders to prison. They serve sentences far in excess of those given to most violent criminals. Our goal is to put the power back in the hands of the judges." It's something Sugar Ray and Edwin McCain believe in enough to spend an evening singing to support the cause. And this week, Sugar Ray is singing survey song number 7, Someday.
These are the most popular songs in the USA, and falling 5 notches to number 16 is 31-year-old Mark McGrath of Sugar Ray, a performer who doesn't have to think twice about which direction his future will take. Mark says, quote, "I figure you can either get fat and complacent, or you think, I never want to lose this," unquote. Choosing the latter, here's Mark and Sugar Ray with Falls Apart.
American Top 40.
Now, we're up to When It's Over, a Sugar Ray song that has 2 videos. One is being played on MTV and VH1, and the other can be seen only on the Cartoon Network's website. You see, in the Cartoon Network video, the members of Sugar Ray turn into cartoon characters. And not just any cartoon characters. They get a chance to be drawn in the style of some of their all-time favorites. Which means that the bass player Murphy Cargis looks like a character from the Flintstones. Guitarist Rodney Spencer is a character from Speed Racer. And drummer Stan Frazier is a futuristic character from the Jetsons. Lead singer Mark McGrath is drawn like one of the characters in the old Harlem Globetrotters Saturday morning cartoon series from the early 70s. This week, the real-life members of Sugar Ray move up 9 very animated notches to number 23 in our survey. Here's When It's Over.
The hits from coast to coast.
Hey, what's going on? It is Ryan Seacrest in for Casey Kasem. Now we're up to an AT20 Extra by Sugar Ray, a band who say they may have been involved in the lamest promotional contest ever. It was back in 1994. Sugar Ray had just finished their first album, titled Lemonade and Brownies. To promote it, their record company came up with what they thought was a great idea. Their idea was to have fans videotape themselves running naked in public, holding the group's album. Strategically placed, of course. The video shot in the most public place would be the winner. The prize was either $3,000 cash or Mark McGrath's 1968 Cadillac. Mark says the contest was done nationwide. There were ads for it in lots of magazines. And when the deadline arrived, the record company had only 3 entries. The band chose the video sent in by a female fan. When she was told she'd won, she took the cash and ran. And we're assuming she bought herself a couple of nice new outfits. Now with an AT20 Extra, here's the band whose first promotion was a bust. Sugar Ray and their smash from 1999, Someday.
American Top 20.